Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be about the rest of 2026. I usually try to do this one like right at the halfway point of the year, but we are fashionably late this time. That's okay. I'm just gonna trust that this finds you exactly when it needs to. We are going to be looking at the time period from right now, whenever you are watching this, until December 31st, 2026. So here is the breakdown for today's reading. We're going to start by finding out the main theme for you in the rest of this year, your main focus, or a particular area of life that's going to be changing. Of course, we're going to see what's unfolding in the rest of the year. We will see what seeds you are currently planting for 2027, and then we'll finish off with a message or advice from 2027, from you in 2027 about what you're doing right now. So there are 4 groups to choose from today. We're going to be using a different tarot deck for each reading. I've also placed different crystals on top of each to help you pick, and I will be showing you a card from each deck so that you can see what the artwork looks like. And yeah, without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. For my group number 1s, we have this green butterfly. I don't know what he's made of, and we're going to be using the Fortuna tarot. And your card is the Hanged Man. For my group number 2s, we have this Agate, and we're going to be using the Folklore tarot. And your card is the Ace of Wands. For my group number 3s, we have this Opalite, and we're going to be using the Hermetic tarot. And your card is the 8 of Swords. And for my group number 4s, we have this red Aragonite, and we're going to be using the Yōkai tarot. And your card is the Knight of Swords. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, here are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the butterfly and the Fortuna tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2026. A couple things I want to share with you before we get into it. Sometimes I get cards from other decks, like mixed into decks, and you had this card mixed into your deck and it says Selective Shield. Maybe that already means something to you. Maybe we're going to figure it out as we get into the reading. But there was this. And also, when I was filming the intro and holding up your crystal and your card, the camera timer went to 222, and I very clearly heard the word integration. So that may also be something you already know what that's referring to, or we're going to find out in this reading. But those were the 2 things I wanted to share with you before we get into it. So first thing we're going to do is find out your main theme, your main focus, or an area of your life that's going through significant change in the rest of this year. So we have the number 8 for the 8th house. We have the sign of Taurus, and we have interesting. We have Mars. Okay, there's a clear message coming through here, but just for confirmation, some of you could have Mars in Taurus or Mars in the 8th house, or you could be a Libra rising with, or just have Taurus in the 8th house. So you are going to be receiving abundance, any kind of abundance, but especially of the material nature, like material success, financial success, through a partnership with someone else, with another person, another organization. And what's coming through is that this other party will do a lot of heavy lifting for you, but they are not like a free ticket to success. or abundance. Like, you have to put in the work as well. And maybe you already know that, but as long as you're motivated and as long as you're putting in the work, they will do a lot of heavy lifting for you, is how it's coming through. And this can be a really beneficial partnership that catapults you to the success that you are ready for, is what I'm hearing. And you will benefit this other party as well. They're going to benefit, like, materially or financially, I'm hearing, from having you on board. So this is like some kind of collaboration, or maybe you're getting hired somewhere, or you're being invited to get involved with a project. I don't know, feels auspicious, but there is like hard work ahead, which will pay off. Yeah, so let's look at your oracle cards. What else can we know about the main theme? We have money, finances, power, generosity, abundance. What I like about this card is that it's associated with the sacral chakra, with this orange border. And so you are likely going to be generating wealth and money through something creative. And yes, like, your skills and hard work are important, but also like your vibe, how you make people feel. People will want to work with you, or people will want to support you because they like your vibe. It's literally on the level of your frequency, the frequency you emit, or maybe your aura. There's something kind of maybe spiritual about it. I don't know, just the energy you give off, the feeling it gives people. It makes them want to work with you or support you. I also like this watery aspect of this card. The sacral chakra is related to the element of water. It's very much giving like money flowing in, money coming in like water, coming in effortlessly, or at least maybe not effortlessly, because it does take hard work, but easier than what it was before. You may find that some of your mental blockages surrounding money are lifting in the rest of this year, especially if you had blockages around a particular venture. Like, oh, this venture is not going to be profitable, or it's so hard to make money in this industry. Like, those kind of blockages might be lifted. The universe might be showing you examples of the opposite in the rest of this year. Well, what about that person? They're in your field, they're in the field you want to be in, they're doing what you want to do, and they're making money. The universe is kind of proving wrong any, what do you call that? Yeah, mental blockages or limiting beliefs, preconceived notions that you might have about how difficult it is to make money in general or in a certain venture. We have the sun. This means you're going to be successful. And this is also, wow, this is also making me think of creativity. And we have the Ace of Diamonds here, which in tarot is similar to the Ace of Pentacles. So money's coming through really strong as a theme for you. Hard work paying off. And it's like, it's hard work, but it's easier than you thought. You're thinking you're gonna have to put in a 10 out of 10 effort, and it's maybe more like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Just as an example. We have Frog. The path has been cleared for you to make a change that previously seemed unachievable. Beautiful. And we have Beauty. Cherish your own beauty. This card is very much giving me Empress vibes, obviously with the keyword of beauty. It's the card number 3, which is the number of the Empress. And all of this abundance energy, we even have Taurus here. This is very Empress coded. So you're really shining. You're really shining in the rest of this year. And something I want to stress here is that whatever is bringing you this success, recognition, abundance, it's coming from what you already have. So what I mean by that is skills you already have, Talents you already have. Charisma you already have. Knowledge and resources you already have. Work ethic you already have. This is not the universe saying like, you better lock in and level up because an opportunity's coming, and when it comes, you got to make sure you're ready for it. It's like you're already ready. You've already done the foundational work to be at the level you need to be at for this opportunity. Anything you do from now, it's just like polishing. It's just refining the skills that you already have. But you've been preparing for this for a long time. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna get into your tarot deck. And let's see what is unfolding exactly in the rest of this year. Definitely looks good. I'm thinking of the amphibious nature of the frog, how it can thrive, or it can survive. I don't know what makes a frog thrive, but it can live both in the water and on the land. And that could be sort of symbolic of a versatility that you have, or your ability to thrive and do well in various environments. An intuitive message from this selective shield. Something that you could think about for the rest of this year is which of your talents you want to put at the forefront. I'm also seeing like you have many faces, basically just meaning you're multifaceted. You have many gifts. Which face do you want to put forth? Which face do you want to lead with? There's no right or wrong answer to. And something else too that's coming through to think about is that, you know, it feels nice, of course, to get validation for your skills and gifts, but once you put that face forward of this is what my gift is, people are going to start expecting that from you. So it would be wise to lead with the gift you most enjoy using, because people will start expecting you to keep showing up like that. Interesting. Actually, I feel the energy of a blessing coming in for some of you, where in the past, you didn't have that freedom to choose which of your skills you get to use. You're multi-talented, but in the past, you just had to put forth whatever skill was asked of you. Like this, I don't know, this is what the job market wants right now. This is what they're gonna pay me for right now. This is what someone needs me to do right now. So, you know, even though this is not the skill I most enjoy doing, that's what I have to do to survive. But now you can choose which of your many skills you lead with, which of your many skills you create this next era of your life with. You have that freedom that maybe you didn't have before. What is unfolding in the rest of this year? We have the Seven of Swords. This is a moon in Aquarius, and that's just kind of standing out to me because at the time of filming this, we had a full moon in Aquarius not too long ago. It was, I want to say July 29th. I don't know off the top of my head when the new moon in Aquarius is going to be. It might actually be in like early 2027. If you feel called to look into that, feel free. But yeah, the new moon in Aquarius could be significant for you. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Four of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Cups and the Four of Wands is very much giving happiness in their most simple interpretations. Happiness and a wish fulfilled. There's this progression of you choosing yourself, choosing to fill your own cup, choosing to, literally just choosing to be yourself, and that attracting your community. You may resonate with this being your soul family or just a warm and supportive community of like-minded people. There was that message of you bringing in abundance through partnerships, and that may actually be a larger group. It could be like a one-on-one partnership, like a partnership of two people for some of you, but there could certainly be more than that. And you kind of all uplift each other. Okay, I'm hearing like many hands make light work. When you come together, obviously you can get more done than if you were alone. But there's teamwork and collaboration, but I don't see much in the sense of having to compromise your vision or having to compromise about like who you are and how you express yourself. Whatever group you're belonging to is very supportive of you being your authentic self and doing things the way you want to do it. It's like each individual's personality and unique gifts are respected. And there's this recognition that we're stronger together. You and collaborators or you and friends seems like you're manifesting abundance together. And it all starts from you choosing to fill your cup, choosing to prioritize your joy. I kind of want to get a clarifier for the Seven of Swords, because the Seven of Swords can be a kind of funky energy, and I just want to know what that's about. I'm glad it was not the last card that came out, and that's like where we end. It's an initial energy. Actually, you know what it might be? You may, right now, sooner rather than later, just need to take some time. Yes, okay, I'm hearing hive mind. You need to take some time to figure out what you actually believe and what story you just tell yourself because the collective hive mind has perpetuated this story. I'm thinking of the deceptive nature of the Seven of Swords. Sometimes I just feel like it's a bullshit card. Like there's some story you have in your head that is not true. There's some assumptions you have that are not true. And it's just because you adopted this opinion or adopted this worldview from society, from the collective, like that's Aquarian energy as well. I don't have to believe this just because everybody else does. Yeah. Holding on to assumptions just because everybody else holds on to them, or just because it makes you feel like you're right, or just because it makes you feel accepted, or it makes you feel relatable, is doing you a disservice. You may have to hold a sort of unpopular opinion is maybe not the perfect word for it, but dare to see things a different way than most people do. Because at the end of the day, it's just an assumption. And it's less about what's objectively true and what's objectively not true, because that doesn't exist. And it's like, is this worldview helping me or harming me? And how you start to choose yourself and pour into your cup is being brave enough to let go of some assumptions or some stories that are holding you back. What seeds are you planting for 2027? We have the Two of Cups. There's a lot about beneficial partnerships, and I just heard you're not alone. I think you're just finding your people, that the energy flows very easily between you. And I actually think for some of you, that integration message from the start of the reading is what you want to express and what others want to receive from you. And maybe you assumed that those were two different things. But when you are with your people, when you are working with your people, when you are sharing with your people, you find that what they want from you, what they expect from you, what they wish to receive from you is exactly your authentic expression and your authentic self. So like what I want to give and what others want to receive doesn't have to be two different things. They're compatible with each other. So the energy flows between us very easily and harmoniously. There's a lot of Venusian energy. We have two Venus ruled cards here. We have Taurus here. We had that Empress vibe going on here. Like things are really gonna start to flow harmoniously for you in self-expression, in creativity, in connecting with people, in generating wealth for yourself. And it really, broken record, it really all starts from letting go of assumptions and choosing to pour into your own cup. You could be, because the Two of Cups to me does feel like a significant partner, where here in the Four of Wands we see a group thriving together. Two of Cups feels more like one-on-one. So you may be planting seeds in the rest of 2026 to meet a very important person in 2027. A partner of some kind. What else? What seeds are you planting for 2027? The Eight of Swords. That was the card in the intro when I was showing the card from each deck. This was group, I want to say group 3s. I obviously haven't done group 3 yet, but if you were kind of feeling drawn to group 3 too, feel free to check it out as well. Obviously you don't have to. You're planting the seeds to receive opportunities in 2027 that feel too big for you, and I'm hearing that's by design. I think if things keep going this way, you are going to receive an opportunity in 2027 that, if I'm being honest, feels scary. But I just heard like you asked the universe to or you asked your spiritual team to help you remove limiting beliefs, and this is how you do it. Like, you can remove limiting beliefs like with journaling and meditation and affirmations, but a really effective way and a fun way to do it is by living it out in real life. So you're going to demolish a limiting belief by doing the very thing that brings it up in 2027. So, I don't know, let's say you have stage fright and you have this limiting belief that you cannot be charismatic and you cannot perform well under pressure and you're gonna make a bunch of mistakes. Well, I guess what I'm really talking about is facing a fear. Like, there's an opportunity that's big and it makes you scared, and your spiritual team is like, yeah, but this is the best way to get over that fear. Not by like sitting in your room and affirming that you're confident. Like, we're gonna make you do the thing that you're scared of, and you're not gonna die, and then you're gonna be less scared of it, and then we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna go bigger and bigger. There's a growth coming for you in the new year that you feel not ready for, but the only way you're going to get ready for it is to just do it. Unfortunately, unfortunately for your ego, unfortunately for the scared part of your mind, you will not become ready behind the scenes. You will not become ready in the comfort of your home. You will become ready as you do the thing. And also, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to not do a great job at first, because you'll get good at it by sucking at first. There may be a moment of, oh, this is what I was so afraid of. Like, you're afraid of failure, and then you fail, and you're like, oh, let's do it again. Let's fail again. Like, that was awesome. I learned so much. Yeah, I just saw like you're like a car driving towards your goals, and your higher self just like knocked the brakes off, and they're like, oops, we're going full speed ahead toward the goals, and it's gonna feel overwhelming sometimes, but I would not put you on this path if you couldn't do it. And with that being said, let's get a message or advice from 2027 you. We have the Hermit. So, okay, 2027 you is definitely asking you to go inward. The external world is going to be quite eventful for the rest of this year. And I would bet for 2027 too. The external world is going to be quite eventful. 2027 you is reminding you to keep looking inward. When you start to feel scared, anxious, overwhelmed, worried, just look inside you. Your higher self is saying, I'm right here. I'm right here. Okay, they said like I'm the only one that matters. And I think what they mean by that is like, you don't have to impress anybody else. I'm here and I love you and I think we're awesome, and that's all that matters. And like, I'm here for you, you're here for me, we got each other. You could be developing a really strong relationship with your higher self who is inside you. And they will be the like grounding and calming core for you when you start to get worried. I'm also hearing like, it's just me here. Everything out there is an illusion. It's just me here. So if you start to get overwhelmed by everything going on outside of you, I'm right here. Just tune into me. It's just me here. Just listen to my voice. That's making me emotional. Yeah, your higher self is right there. And I have my hand on my heart when I'm saying this, so maybe you kind of feel them in your heart center. But yeah, also, Virgo season could be a significant time in the rest of this year, which is late August to late September. Maybe that's already passed for you, but yeah, Virgo season or Virgo energy, which actually Virgo energy kind of makes sense because there's the messages about you. It's not like you're building up an entirely new skill. You're just refining and perfecting your craft, polishing something you already have. That feels very Virgo-y, however you say that. But yeah, group 1, those are all the messages I have for you. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have a link down below, my Instagram, my memberships, where you can watch all of the extended readings that we do every month. You can also watch members only full-length pick a card readings. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Agate and the Folklore Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2026. So we're going to start by looking at the main theme for you, or the main focus for you in the rest of this year, an area of your life that is perhaps going to be going through significant change. We have the 10th house. We have the sign of Aquarius, and we have the North Node. Oh, that's cool, because the North Node is actually in the sign of Aquarius right now. Some of you could have this natally as well. For extra confirmation, you could have North Node in the 10th house, or maybe it's transiting your 10th house right now. You could be a Taurus rising, or just have Aquarius in the 10th house. You certainly don't have to, but just extra confirmation for some of you. I like the combination of the 10th house and the North Node because it feels like you are being pulled towards your purpose. And I just saw 111 on the camera timer as I said that. Especially professionally, you are being pulled towards your purpose. There is a group of you within this group who have been putting off becoming who you know you're meant to be, putting off your long-term goals, or avoiding visibility. And I do think that a theme for you in the rest of this year is about making yourself visible, or making your work visible, making your ideas visible. It doesn't have to literally be you as an individual. You can stay private, but just pushing your ideas, pushing your work, your contributions out into more visibility. You will feel called to do this in the rest of the year, or life will be asking you to do this. You may be going through a career change, or just thinking more about how you want to serve the collective. I'm hearing we are ushering in a new world. And like as a collective, we're ushering in a new world. And you could be reflecting quite a bit about what you want your role to be in this new world. Let's look at our oracle cards and see what else we can know about the main themes for you. We have self-expression, vocalization, individuality, inner voice, assertiveness. So like I said, you as an individual don't necessarily have to be visible unless you want to be. But I do think your ideas, your thoughts, your knowledge, your opinions, your unique perspectives want to be visible. want to be heard by the collective, by your community, maybe even by the public on a larger scale. I also just saw 333 as I said that, which the third house I'm thinking of, which is literally about communication. I feel like this is like, yes, you could be getting comfortable with being seen, but I think it's more about being heard. It's like the universe is giving you a podium, giving you a microphone, giving you a megaphone. We're going to hear what you have to say. You could be publishing something. You could be posting something, sharing your opinion, your knowledge, your findings, your research. We want to hear from you. And that's a big focus in the rest of this year. Because what you have to say and what you know could genuinely change people's lives. It can impact them positively. Oh, wow, look at this, double 32. That's a significant number for my group 2s. Some of you could be 32 years old, or maybe the number 5 is significant, like if we add up 3 and 2. The moon, I believe, in this deck talks about how others perceive you. So when we have the 10th house here, which is definitely pulling you into the public in some way, yeah, there's a recurring theme here of you being perceived, being seen, being heard. We have the 8 of Hearts on this card, which corresponds to the 8 of Cups in tarot. I feel like some of you could be changing career paths, like moving on from something that is no longer fulfilling you, especially those of you who have been kind of putting off your purpose, putting off your calling. Speaking of being heard, it could also be that your calling is getting louder and louder. It's getting harder and harder to ignore it. I just heard something about you being like thrust into the public eye. And again, I want to stress this doesn't mean that like you have to make your life public or you as a person public, but something in you, something that you have to express wants to be perceived. And it's knowledge that you're sharing. I feel like you may have some knowledge that you take for granted, that you think is just common sense, that you think is just normal, but there's actually a lot of people who don't know those things, who don't think that way, and who could really benefit from your perspective and from you joining the conversation. I also think that you could be compensated for sharing your knowledge, even if that's not like your main motivation, for sharing your knowledge, for sharing your ideas, for sharing your commentary, just for letting your voice be heard. You can be compensated for that because it is valuable. And there's just this feeling that you take that for granted. You don't see how valuable your words are, how beneficial they can be to other people, how novel and unique and refreshing they can be to other people. Of course, because when it's your own inner narrative and you hear it all the time and you're used to knowing these things, you just think that it's common, but it's not. We have Owl. You're sharing wisdom. A crisis will allow you to look into yourself and make an important revelation. Okay, this feels like divine redirection to your purpose. And what I think is going to happen is that something in your current situation is going to hit the fan and you're going to feel like, I'm not bothered to fix this. And it's kind of this revelation like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Okay, this is just one example to illustrate the energy. I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you. It's just to illustrate the energy. But let's say you were spending months writing an essay and you actually do not give a shit about this essay. You would rather be writing a novel. But you're writing this essay, you've been working on it for a long time, And then one day your computer crashes and you lost the essay. And weirdly, in that moment, you feel relief. You're not thinking like, oh no, my essay, how can I get it back? You're like, well, I guess that's gone now. Maybe I'll start writing my novel. It's like how you react in that moment of shit hitting the fan makes you realize how you truly feel, because rather than trying to salvage the situation, rather than trying to fix things and get back to how it was before, you're actually like, oops, well, I guess that's gone now. And it feels kind of freeing. I guess I'm not finishing that essay. Like the universe, well, no, the universe didn't make the decision for you, but the universe illuminated the decision you already made in your heart. So I think if you're on a path that is not aligned, if you're on a path that deep down you really do not care about, the universe is going to make that super obvious, and there will be an opportunity to redirect your focus and where you're investing your energy so that you're building something that actually matters to you. I just heard like you're building a platform that matters to you. So some of you could be like, I don't know, maybe you have some kind of like mailing list or newsletter or blog or some kind of publication or something you're teaching that really, really matters to you. Yeah, we have nourish, water your garden. And I'm noticing this card is a number 16, which is the number of the tower. And I feel like that definitely matches with the message we just got about something falling apart and you cannot be bothered to rebuild it, because if you're being honest with yourself, you kind of don't want to. That's kind of how I felt when I learned that Vimeo was shutting down. No offense, Vimeo, but like, I was like, okay, let it burn. I'm tired of posting on there. So it's gonna be something like that for you, I think. That you're just, okay, let's just let that tower fall down. And now you can pour your water on the things you really want to see grow in your life. The universe is going to make it easier in the rest of this year to move on from things that don't feel aligned. And you can really start nourishing what's important to you. And for many of you, I think this is like a platform, a way to share your knowledge, a way to share your voice. And recognizing that people want to hear it, it will impact them positively. I'm also noticing that we have the numbers 16 and 32 here. 32 is a doubling. So something in your life could be doubling. Income or the amount of time you have for something. Maybe in the past you only had time to spend 1 day a week on your passion, and now you can spend 2, or whatever it is. Like something favorable is doubling. Oh my gosh, I just noticed you have the owl totem, and then your deck also has owls on it. And you also have this bird. You have this bird perched on a branch. You have this fairy perched on a branch. There could be, I mean, birds are definitely a symbol of the throat chakra, of you expressing yourself. The moon and the owl is kind of giving night owl, which I often see this energy come up in readings if you're spending long hours, like working on a passion project, building something that matters to you, and you're just like losing track of time. You're working late into the night. You could really have creative juices flowing too. So you're, like you're about to fall asleep and you suddenly get an idea. You have to get up and write it down. Okay, let's see what is unfolding for you in the rest of this year. Wow, we have the Ten of Pentacles. First thought with this card is that it is a Mercury ruled card. It's a Virgo ruled card, which is already mercurial. So the communication vibes are everywhere. And the Ten of Pentacles is building something to last. We're going to get into this a bit later in the reading, what seeds you're planting for 2027, but I really do think that in the rest of this year, you are building something. Again, I want to say like building a platform, building a venture, investing in a new path that is going to sustain you and fulfill you and last for a long time, for many years to come. Ten of Pentacles is like you're building a legacy. You're building something lasting. If your financial situation has been unstable, this can be a great sign of financial stability and security. I also feel like the Ten of Pentacles can be blessings coming to your family. I'm going to take this one because it kind of was separated from the others. Maybe there's a message here about you standing out from the rest. I do want to count how many we have here. $16. That's crazy. And we're at 16 minutes of the reading too. So the number 16 has come out twice. The number 32 has come out twice. The number 10 has come out twice. Wow. I wonder if October 16th is an important date for someone. We have the Queen of Wands. Oh yes, you are expressing yourself, and the more you do it, the more confident you become. You are becoming a leader of some kind. And for some of you, it's gonna be more of like an unofficial thing. It's not like you're a self-proclaimed leader. But you are leading people, you are guiding people, you are influencing people, you're inspiring people. You are a catalyst. I think the role that you have in the new world that we're building as a collective, I mean, I can't tell you what it is, obviously. You're gonna know what that is in your heart, but I could just tell you what I'm seeing here, and maybe it's confirmation. I think you have some role as like an educator or a guide or a catalyst, or all of the above. You help people equip themselves with the information they need and the mindset that they need to make their goals come true. Okay, something just came through. You're gonna be attracting all kinds of people when you start expressing yourself. There's gonna be people who are self-motivated. They understand that you can provide guidance and you can provide your insights, but at the end of the day, like they have to show up and do the work for themselves as well. You may also attract some people who kind of expect you to do everything for them. So just, I guess, be mindful of what your role is in the collective and what your role is not. Don't feel like you have to overstretch yourself to fulfill a role you never asked to have. There's only so much you can do for other people, and that's okay, and that's good, and it's supposed to be that way. You're never meant to have all the answers for everyone, to make everything click for everyone, to carry every person to their destination. You may be meant to help some people a little bit, you may be meant to help some people a lot, and there's some people you're not meant to help at all. Just remember that you can't do it all, because I feel also like with this Virgo energy, you really do have that drive to help people, and it could be like upsetting when you realize you can't, or there's limits to that, but that's very okay. And again, like, it's supposed to be that way. You were never supposed to like help everybody do everything. But yeah, you are like a leader or an inspirational figure as you step more into visibility or audibility, if that's a word, like people hearing what you have to say. Yeah, definitely the more you speak, the more your confidence builds. Be mindful too of your ability to speak things into existence. We have the Seven of Swords. Group number 1 got this card as well. I noticed that as I held up this card, the camera timer was at 2025. So maybe this is an energy from last year. In group 1, we were talking about like false narratives and assumptions that you're shedding. This kind of feels like changing your mind. Something you thought to be true in 2025, last year, maybe just doesn't resonate with you anymore. You could be changing a belief, changing your mind about something, which is allowed. There could be, I just heard, who was I kidding? So maybe there's like something you committed to in 2025 and you're like, oh, I was lying to myself. Like, I was kidding myself. I was never actually going to finish that. Because there was an energy here about walking away from something. So maybe there's something you started for the wrong reasons. There's something you committed to for the wrong reasons. And you're realizing like, oh, I never actually wanted to see that through to the end anyway. So I'm allowed to quit. I'm allowed to change my mind. Give yourself permission to quit things or let things go or change your mind about things if they don't resonate anymore. That is very much allowed. And again, like Virgo energy is a mutable energy. You're allowed to change. Your ability to change your mind and update your beliefs when you get new information could be an example that the collective really needs to see right now. That feels kind of scientific. Some of you could be scientists. Or I'm just thinking of the scientific method. I'm thinking of, you know, we thought this and we realized we were wrong and now we have more information. And like, it's okay to be like, I was wrong. It's okay to be like, we don't know yet. Yeah, some people want like a final answer from you that you can't give them. But that's the point. That's okay. What seeds are you planting for 2027 and the rest of this year? We have the King of Wands. That's interesting. The King and the Queen of Wands. Now, this could be an aspect of you, like your masculine side, which in this case, I think is referring to like a go-getter, a self-starting kind of energy. That could be waking up from inside of you. Some of you may feel that this is a counterpart. You don't have to be a woman, they don't have to be a man, but just that these two are a pair. So you could be planting seeds to align with an important counterpart in 2027. I think definitely you're planting the seeds for yourself to feel more empowered and more in control of your life than you maybe did before. You're definitely not feeling stuck anymore. What seeds are you planting for 2027? We have Judgment. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a card that makes me think of calling. Like the angel in the sky with the... You know what's so interesting? The angel in the sky is Archangel Gabriel. And I have a little Archangel Gabriel on my altar, and he fell over today. And I was like, oh, I took notice. So maybe he wanted to be here for today's reading. Yeah, that horn being blown in the sky, I feel like it's your purpose is calling you, like it's time to wake up, it's time to step up, it's time to answer it and wake up others in the process. You're planting the seeds for your own awakening, a next level of your awakening, but also an awakening of those around you. Speaking of changing your mind, and this could actually start in the rest of 2026. You're definitely going to see it in 2027. You will notice people around you changing their mind about things that you never thought they would. People who seemed so stuck in their ways, they're opening up their minds. They're considering a new perspective you never thought they would. Or you're noticing the collective at large changing their mind about something that you never thought they would. You're starting to see that shift in the collective beliefs, the collective mindset. And it's promising, it's optimistic. And there is kind of this feeling of, I never thought this day would come. You could, okay, some of you are gonna notice this like on a government level, which I even feel, I'm like that's gonna happen. Like I already have in my head, like governments suck. But it could surprise you. This is Pluto energy. Pluto and the element of fire. So it is destructive, but it's regenerative. It's like the old energy being completely blown away and new energy emerging in its place. I do think you're going to be really surprised by the shifts you see in like the collective's values, in the collective's narratives, in the collective's mindset. But it's happy. It's like, oh my gosh, I never thought we could get here. Your pessimism about the direction the collective is headed in is going to start to flip. Maybe into neutrality first, like maybe we're not as fucked as I thought. But then slowly but surely moving into optimism. And not to be dramatic, but it's because people like you speak up. Okay, so let's look at the bottom of the deck for advice or messages from 2027 you. We have the Chariot, which is very much go for it. you've known what your gut is telling you for a long time. You've known what your heart is telling you for a long time. And you're not late to the party. Even if you've been kind of ignoring that inner voice or just like not acting on it, doesn't mean you're late to the party, doesn't mean you're behind, because you could never be. But just that now is as good of a time as any to listen to it. If you've been waiting for a sign that now is the time to go, if you've been waiting for a sign that now is the good moment to make that change, 2027 you is giving you that green light now. 2027 you is saying, like, we could be in such a different place next year if you take some action now, because that action will snowball. If you make some little change now, because that will snowball. Also, this is way into the future, but this could be like the year 2032. I know that's in like 6 years from now, but that could be a really big year for you, or the year that you are 32, if that hasn't happened yet. And maybe 2016 was a big year for some of you. But yeah, I think your higher self, your future self is saying, like, if you needed any sign that you have permission to go now, to make that change now, to do that thing you've been wanting to do now, this is it. This is your green light. Like, let's do it yesterday. Okay, group 2, those are all the messages I have for you. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. Of course, a wonderful rest of the year, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram, my memberships, where you can watch all of the extended readings that go up every month. There's also a level with members only full-length pick a card readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Opalite and the Hermetic Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2026. The first thing we're going to do is see the main theme or the main focus for you in the rest of this year, perhaps an area of your life that is, I am smelling eucalyptus. Anyway, an area of your life that is going through significant change. We have the 12th house. We have the sign of Scorpio. And we have Venus. Okay, for confirmation for some of you, you could have Venus in Scorpio or Venus in the 12th house. You could be a Sag rising or have Scorpio in the 12th house. Of course, you don't have to, but that could just be extra confirmation for some of you. What I am noticing is that Venus in Scorpio is the astrological equivalent of the 7 of Cups, which is a very dreamy energy, and the 12th house is dreamy as well. The rest of this year could feel kind of trippy or surreal for you. You could be having very vivid dreams or receiving crazy downloads in the rest of this year. You could be feeling like the timeline is shifting and you're experiencing some weird glitches in your reality. I actually get a good vibe from this because I feel like the universe is kind of shaking up your perception of what is possible and what is not, what is realistic and what is unrealistic. And it's opening your mind. And I feel like your dream reality and your physical reality are blending together. Okay, you're starting to see the early signs of a dream manifesting. And it's making your life just feel like surreal and weird and trippy. Like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. I feel like your psychic abilities could be heightening as well. You could be noticing a lot of spooky synchronicities. But it feels good. It feels like this is a good thing. It genuinely feels like your reality is transforming. So let's take a look at these oracle cards and see what else we can know about your main themes for the year. Also, I'm realizing that we have Scorpio and we have the number 12. So like November and December could be very significant months for you. But anyway, our first card is a chakra card, and it is related to the crown chakra. So when we're talking about like dreams, downloads, psychic abilities increasing, this is very fitting. We have inspiration, ideas, spark, conception, impulse. Okay, so reality's shifting. It feels surreal. It feels good. In order to keep the momentum going, you must listen to the inspiration you receive. Because, and I don't say this to scare you, but if you're receiving these downloads and you're not acting on them, the magic could disappear. You have to work with it. You have to participate with it. So you're gonna receive a download and it's almost like instructions to create something, to pursue something, to communicate something. And you must do it because this is like the in-between period where you're straddling the old reality and the new reality. And there's something you have to do to tip yourself over the edge into the new reality. And now is just a really good time to do it. Some portal is open. And it will open again in the future, but you could do it now. You could shift now. We have the scythe, the number 10. Numerologically, this 46 also adds up to 10. So I feel like that's a significant number. It's a number of endings, beginnings, the number of the Wheel of Fortune. Something is shifting. We have the cow, a new beginning, or even a new life may be blooming. Damn. This is the kind of thing you're gonna start noticing more. Like you are thinking about something and then your surroundings reflect it right back to you, confirm it right back to you. Like the universe is listening and responding in real time. The synchronicities are gonna go crazy if they aren't already. And we have number 1, more new beginning energy, slow down and reflect, autumn. 555 on the camera timer as I'm holding up this card. It's definitely a time for transformation. And yeah, autumn season. If you're in the northern hemisphere, like the month of November could especially be significant. If you're in the southern hemisphere too, but it would be spring, I guess. It's time to clear away the old so that you can plant new seeds. But again, like this is not something that's just going to inevitably happen to you. You must work with this energy. You are, this sounds weird, but you're living inside a dream and you're starting to realize that you're lucid dreaming. What are you going to do with that information? You remember this is all a dream. You're lucid dreaming. You can control the dream. You can become an active participant in the dream rather than just sitting back and letting it happen to you. This is a portal where change is possible, but you have to make the change. So listen to the downloads. This is like a really specific message. I'm very curious if this is resonating. Okay, so let's get into the tarot you chose. Taurus energy could be significant as well. So Scorpio energy, Taurus energy, the energy of your sister sign. So like, for example, I'm an Aries, my sister sign is Libra, the one on the opposite side of the zodiac wheel. What is unfolding for you? Or what can unfold for you? I want to phrase it that way. What can unfold for you in the rest of this year? The Eight of Pentacles. Something is not set in stone yet, but with consistency, it will be. Consistency is key. I'm thinking of the phrase practice makes perfect, which does come up sometimes with this card. I see you practicing something. I see you doing something over and over again. Manifesting results with consistency. Your inner voice, or the voice of your higher self, is going to tell you when you're ready. So you're practicing something, you're repeating something, you're perfecting something. Your higher self is going to tell you when you're ready, or when whatever you're working on is ready. I also see many of you are learning, you're accumulating information, and your higher self is saying at some point you have to stop accumulating information and put what you have already learned into practice. I could definitely see this being the case with like spiritual knowledge, manifestation knowledge. We tend to always want to like look for the next video, read the next book that's going to teach us more. And I feel like your higher self is saying you already know enough. So like, yes, it's important to learn, but at some point you have to put what you learned into practice and participate and co-create with the universe. We have the High Priestess, a huge confirmation of intuition and psychic abilities increasing. Some of you could be channeling something, channeling a project, channeling a creation, channeling the work that you're doing. Some of you could be using your spiritual gifts to help others, if that is something you feel called to do. Something I feel sometimes with the High Priestess, and that I'm definitely feeling here, is your intuition being proven to be correct. This thing that you always knew deep down is finally being reflected in the physical reality. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which is also very on brand for consistency. In the Hermetic Tarot, the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is Virgo energy too. So there's a lot of Virgo energy today, like in all of the groups, I feel. Interesting. the Wheel of Fortune, which we were talking about. This is what I mean, like, the synchronicities are popping up everywhere. It's like you think about something or you talk about something and it just appears. And it's really the universe saying, like, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm responding to you. And the universe will use people, situations, events to bring you the answers you need. You have to trust, because you're going to receive an answer or you're going to receive an instruction from the divine. And you must trust that the transmission you received is enough. And you now know everything you need to know and you have to act on it. If you stay still and keep saying, like, no, I'm going to wait for one more confirmation, one more answer, one more clarification, you're going to get stuck. At some point, you have to trust you are equipped with everything you need to know and it's time to act. And I don't know what this is, but I feel like this portal is opening and Spirit is saying, you know everything you need to know to walk through this portal. You are equipped with everything you need. Like, it's time to go. We have the Six of Cups, more Scorpio energy. There's something you've known to be true for a long time, or a longing, a calling that you felt for a long time. You're so used to playing it out in your head. You're so used to pondering it, asking questions about it, gaining more information about it, anticipating it. That it's time to end that chapter. We're no longer gaining information and gaining clarity about this manifestation. That's over. We're not studying it anymore. We're living it. It's like you've been studying a language all these months, all these years, and now Spirit is saying, close the textbook. Close the textbook and start speaking the language. You're ready. You don't need to buy another textbook. You don't need to listen to another podcast. Like, you're ready. Put it into practice. You may be wobbly at first. You may feel awkward at first. But as you walk into this new reality, it will start to feel more and more normal to you. You sort of built up your desired reality to just be this thing that you like ponder and think about and wonder about, rather than be and live in and move towards in a physical way. That's kind of how it's coming through. And hearing the messages from the divine is one thing. Trusting that it's enough and the message is whole and complete and the transmission is over and now you can act on it, I feel like that's a whole other challenge. But yeah, you're literally reality shifting, or you can, right? Because this is what can unfold in the rest of the year if you work with this energy. Yumi just confirmed with a fart. I don't know if you heard that, but let's keep going. What seeds are you planting for 2027? Let me actually just check. I want to look into that Venus in Scorpio energy. So, oh wait, this is 2027. In 2026, Venus is going to be in Scorpio from mid-September to late October. And then again in December. Honestly, I feel like all the months are significant. September, October, November, December. I feel like they all are. What seeds are you planting for 2027? We have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so there was that energy of like you're kind of straddling between the old reality and the new reality. I feel like the seeds you're planting right now, the actions you're taking right now is what will lock in the new reality. What will secure it. Some of you could be also, if I take this a bit more literally, you could be planting seeds for financial security, for material stability, for something that you've gotten a taste of to become a more regular part of your life. So there's something that you're already doing or something that you've already experienced and you love it, but it's sporadic, I think is the word. It's not a consistent thing in your life yet. And you're planting seeds for it to become a consistent thing. That happens, it could be that it's actually happening on a schedule. Maybe there's a job that you've gotten to do here and there randomly, but it's like so unpredictable when you get to do it. And now it's like, oh, I'm going to do this job every week, or I'm going to do this job every day, or I'm going to get a full-time position doing this. Well, I think you get the picture. I'm also thinking of someone like a freelancer getting jobs or getting gigs. And it's like in the past, it's like I could get 3 jobs in a week and then I could go a month without having any jobs. Like it's just so up and down. And then locking in a schedule where you're consistently getting jobs every week or every month or whatever. It could also be seeing someone. Like you go from seeing someone very randomly, like a few times a year, to now seeing them once a month. I don't know. I think that's enough examples. You get it. But something's locking in to be more regular and a more consistent and predictable part of your life. And that can happen early in the new year. The seeds you're planting now, it can happen very early in 2027. What else? What seeds are you planting for 2027? We have the Ace of Wands. Well, if you listen to the downloads you receive, the divine will speak to you more. I say the divine, but it could be spirit, it could be your guides, it could be your higher self, it could be all of the above. The more because taking the action is your response to them. They send you a download, and when you act on it, that's you responding to them. And, you know, just like anyone, if I keep texting you and you never respond, eventually I'm going to stop texting you. Or I just won't text as frequently. And is kind of the same. Like, your higher self is never going to stop talking to you, of course, but certainly the more you respond to them, the more you show that you're listening, the more they're going to talk to you. So I think you're kind of planting the seeds to receive a lot more downloads, to receive a lot more inspiration. The Ace of Wands is very inspiration coded. You know, we talk quite a bit in spiritual spaces about taking inspired action. And that's what I feel very much with this Ace of Wands, like hearing those nudges to take an action that feels exciting and inspiring to you. You're going to be able to pick up on those nudges a lot more easily, act on them a lot more easily, and feel that divine guidance system really working with you a lot more closely. And with that, this is making me kind of emotional, with that comes such a certainty in what you're doing. Like, I know that I'm on the right path. I know that I'm doing the right thing because I'm so connected to the source of these nudges. I trust the source of these nudges so much. I know that this is my higher self. I know that these are my guides speaking. And so whenever I act on these nudges, I know with certainty and with confidence that I'm on the right path. And so you start to question your path less and less. You start to doubt yourself less and less. Move forward confidently. It's beautiful. Okay, so now I want to look at the bottom of the deck for messages or advice from 2027 you. And we have Death, which is even more Scorpio energy. I feel like this type of thing has come up in, is it all of the groups? I don't know. There is some old reality, old way of being that is ending. That's being cleared away. Like we can see on the Scythe card. Child of the Great Transformers. I want to say we're letting the old reality die, or the old, how do I say that? The old relationship dynamic between you and your desired reality. We're letting that dynamic die. Or the story that you told about your desired reality, we're letting that die. Whatever that story is. Maybe for you, the story is that it's unattainable, or it's on a pedestal, or it will determine your worth, or something. You will know what that story is that you're telling about it, but I think it's about letting that story die so that it can become like a normal, grounded, consistent part of your life. It's one thing to be excited about your desired reality. That is, of course, very good and beautiful, but it's another thing to idolize it and put it on a pedestal, because that tends to create distance. Yeah, it creates this feeling of unattainability, which is just not true. So it could be about letting an old version of you die, but I also think your old way of relating to your desired reality is dying. And that's a good thing. Okay, group 3. Those are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and of course, a wonderful rest of the year. And I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram, my memberships, where you can watch all of the extended readings that we do every month. There's also a membership level with members only full-length pick a card readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the red Aragonite and the Yōkai tarot, this is going to be your reading all about the rest of 2026. I have to start with this message that came through. It is really specific. I actually wasn't sure, like, is this for everybody? Is this only for a few people? And I ended up asking my pendulum, which I really don't use my pendulum that much anymore at all, but I just felt called to ask it. And this message is for a good number of my group 4s. So this might be like an energy check to determine if this is your group, but the message is that you are protected. You are, of course, very dear to your spiritual team. It even makes me emotional saying that, like how much your guides love you and protect you. But specifically, there's this feeling that you are worried about someone being upset with you or having a grudge against you. Maybe you know for a fact that they do, or you just kind of suspect that they do. That's not me saying that you wronged this person. I don't think you did anything wrong. There may have been some situations that you could have handled better or some things you could have worded better, but you never intentionally harmed this person or did something wrong towards them. But you know, or you suspect that they could have some kind of grudge, or maybe it's even like an envious energy towards you. This could be someone that like you cut ties with and now they're upset, or you received an opportunity that they didn't, you received a blessing that they didn't, and now they're upset. Something like that, and you're worried about like what they might do or what they might say, or like some negative energy that they could be sending your way. And your spiritual team is like, no, you're protected from that mess. Like you are so protected from this person, from this situation, and you have nothing to feel guilty about or feel wrong about. So that was the message. I know that's like really specific. I'm gonna leave it up to you if you feel like this is your group, because maybe we're gonna get into the reading and it's gonna have nothing to do with that. And that was just like a message for some of you, but I wanted to share that. We're gonna do the dice. And let's see a main theme for you, a main focus for you, an area of your life that's going to be going through significant change in the rest of this year. There was another group that got this exact combination. The North Node in the 10th house. It was group 2. So if you happen to feel drawn to group 2, you might want to check it out. Of course, you don't have to. But your career is going to be going through a significant change in the rest of this year. And it's fated. I want to be clear that there isn't going to be anything, again, I think this kind of goes with the you're protected message. There isn't going to be anything shocking happening. I heard no more surprises. I feel like you've been through enough bullshit from life, from the universe. Like there's been enough tower moments. There's been enough of the rug pulled out from under you. There's been enough setbacks. Like there's no more of that. I think what we're seeing in the rest of 2026 is now you choosing a new direction. choosing a new approach, reorienting yourself after all the things that have previously unfolded. This is the time where you start rebuilding. This is the time where you start seeing the vision of what was trying to be born through all of this, what was trying to emerge through all of this. I think your career is going to become a lot more meaningful and fulfilling. And it's going to become much more of a vehicle for you to connect with others than it was before. Whereas in the past, it may have just felt like something you're building. There was almost like an isolating feeling to it, or just a job, so to speak, feeling to it. Now it's becoming more emotionally fulfilling. And I don't know what, it's like you're interacting with people more, or it's becoming more about the people and more about connection more. I'll use like a tarot reader as an example, just an easy example for me. You could be shifting, if you're the tarot reader in this example, shifting from doing online readings to in person. So now you're like seeing the person in front of you, you get to talk to them, you get to see their face, you get to know their name, you get to know about their life, you get to exchange energy. And that feels more fulfilling and more meaningful. You could be going from working at home all by yourself and it's isolating to now like working in a team with warm and supportive people. Or you get to actually see and interact with the people that your work affects. Yeah, it's like you get to know the people you work with or the people you serve on a more personal level. And your center of gravity, I'm hearing, inside of you is shifting more towards like, it's all about the connection at the end of the day, which is beautiful. You could be a Libra midheaven because we have Libra in 10th house here, or you could have North Node in the 10th house. You could be a Capricorn rising. You don't have to be, but just extra confirmation for some of you. Let's get into your oracle cards and see what else we can know about the main themes for you in the rest of this year. We have connection. Universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. Aw. So not only are you aligning with your mission, like your professional mission, but you're feeling extremely supported in it. And you're actually getting to see with your own eyes, like the people you're impacting, the difference you're making. There's this theme of you connecting with people in person, like rather than virtually, or being surrounded by people rather than being like remote or isolated, and this being very fulfilling to you. Look at this. Like, the universe could not be laying this symbolism on more thick. We have once again a card of connection, a card of love, a card of relationships. This is a big focus for you in the rest of the year and onwards, I would say. We have the waxing moon. Now is a good time to focus on achieving your own personal goals. You're going to see your goals and aspirations being very supported and very celebrated. Also, something that's coming through is that you have a very good reputation. Like, you are very favored. And at first, when I started saying this message, I was thinking of humans. I was thinking of the 3D. Like, maybe you have a really good public image, or you're very likable, or people have a very favorable opinion of you. But then I was like, oh, this is also talking about higher beings. This is also talking about guides, beings in the soul world, like you are highly favored there too. You are very loved and protected there too. I want to say you are such a sweetheart. Like this card is related to the heart chakra. This card is related to the heart. You always have the purest of intentions. You could be a little bit hard on yourself when you make mistakes, but your guides do not consider those mistakes because what they're looking at is your intention. What they're looking at is the place from which you show up, and you always show up from your heart. You always show up from love. Are you gonna get everything perfectly all the time? No, and they would never expect that of you. What you may see as like mistakes or I shouldn't have done that, it's not registered as like wrong or bad in the spirit world is what I'm seeing. Because they're looking at your energy, they're looking at your intention, they're looking at your heart. We have fertilize. Number 7, what is your fuel? You are going forward to achieve your personal goals. I just heard you're achieving some goals that you've never told anyone about. Maybe that you've never spoken out loud. And your fuel is connection. Your fuel is relationships. In general, it could be a particular connection, a particular relationship that is really motivating you, but your fuel is definitely like love and people. Okay, so let's get into the tarot that you chose. I just saw 12/12. Maybe December is going to be a significant month. The last few days of December, like the last few days of the year, could be really significant. What is unfolding in the rest of 2026? Whoa, did you see how was that on camera? It like, whoosh, like flew up into the air and came back down. We have the 5 of Cups. Like, yes, this is a sad card, but I think it was very symbolic how it like flew away. Maybe you're releasing some heartbreak, releasing some sadness. These cards are flying out with a lot of force. We have the 4 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that my group 4s, you've been through some shit previously. This definitely feels like a past energy. You may still be kind of feeling the aftermath of some bad things that happened in the past, but I'm seeing this emotional progression for you. Your guides are saying, first of all, they're saying, don't worry, you're protected. But they're showing me this progression that you go through where like there was a loss in the past or something didn't turn out the way you hoped and you were sad about it, you were upset about it, you were feeling those emotions. Those emotions eventually subside, but then what's left is just like nothing. It's like you go from feeling pain and heartbreak to feeling nothing. And it may be kind of eerie, it may be kind of empty. Like, oh my gosh, like I'd rather feel something than nothing, like what's going on? And it could just be like emotional burnout, honestly. But your guides are saying, don't worry, this will also pass. Like, just like the sadness passed, this kind of empty feeling will also pass and you will get your spark back. Like, that's what this 2 of Wands is saying. You will get your motivation back. You will get your vitality back. you'll get your energy back. And I bet that connection is going to play a big role in that. Some of you could be falling in love, you could be dating, you could be like developing a crush or making a new friend, like some new exciting connection coming into your life that just kind of helps to like jumpstart the next chapter a little bit. That's not me saying that you're like relying on this other person to make you feel better, but it can certainly help with the little rekindling of sorts. But yeah, it's like this kind of progression. It's like, I feel sad. Oh shit, now I don't feel anything. What's going on? And now I have my spark back. So just know that these are temporary and you're gonna feel like a badass within the rest of this year if you don't already. This Two of Wands very much feels like getting your power back. So yeah, I'm reading all of these as like one message, I think. What is unfolding in the rest of this year? We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, that's definitely connection. That's definitely friendship. Friendships are going to help you through this healing process. So again, you could be making a new friend in the rest of this year, finding a new friend group, finding a new community. Is a close-knit community. If you have been through some drama or pain in the past, I think you're making friends or spending more time with friends who are very removed from that. Like, for example, let's say you were in a friend group and you were having issues with one of the friends in the group. It would be good to have friends who are like not part of that group and like they don't know anything about that. Like they don't know those people, they're removed from it. Just to kind of refresh your mind and like step out of that. And that's not saying you have to leave the original group behind, but to just put it into perspective that like it's not the whole world, it's not everything. I don't know, there's something like that coming through where you're making friends who are, or spending more time with friends who are kind of outside of some drama that you previously experienced. And that's like healing, refreshing. It gives you hope, it gives you a new perspective. I don't know why this is an example coming to my mind. Maybe it's like significant for someone. But I just imagine a person who like moved to LA to become an influencer or something. And then it's like all of their friends are influencers or celebrities or celebrity adjacent. And they're in that kind of echo chamber of all like the same drama and the same issues. And then they go back to see their friends from their hometown and it's just like a breath of fresh air. It's some energy like that. Friends who are a breath of fresh air, who are removed from the usual problems and stuff. I don't know why influencers came into that, but maybe that's significant for someone. Or like making a new friend who doesn't care about any of that. They don't view you as that. And of course, apply that to your situation. I can kind of use myself as an example because early on in my channel, I was living alone. I lived alone. I wasn't really hanging out with a lot of people. So it was just me by myself in my house making videos. And so because of that, it was very easy to like let that consume me, like YouTube and KINO and being a creator. And then when I started making friends and like I met my husband and they don't know who KINO is, like they don't care about my YouTube channel. It's like it took me out of that isolation and took me out of my mind swamp and just was like very refreshing. Anyway, I think you get the picture. We have the 4 of coins and we have the 8 of swords. Holding on to something is keeping you stuck. This looks like someone, and I want to be very careful here because I'm not going to give you financial advice or tell you how to spend or not spend your money. But there is a feeling here of someone being overly frugal or worrying too much about being frugal to the point that it's causing unnecessary stress, refusing to spend money, and then dealing with difficulties in their life that they could fix if they just made an investment, if they just bought something. You'll know if that's for you, right? I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money, but it's like someone who's afraid to spend money because they feel like if they spend it, it won't come back to them. Or worrying that they don't have enough, but they very much do. And they're creating unnecessary worries. Maybe you are kind of repairing your relationship with money in the rest of this year. There is definitely an overarching theme through all of this of releasing worries, of being mentally refreshed, of closing the chapter on that era of worries and heaviness. Let's see what seeds you're planting for 2027. We have the Empress, abundance, love, makes a lot of sense. We have the Page of Wands, and we have the 9 of Cups. This is not going to be for all of you. Some of you could be planting seeds to like get married and start a family and settle down, if that is something you want. If not, just completely ignore that message. But you are absolutely planting seeds to experience more love and gratitude in your life, to notice more the abundance around you, to notice the abundance in all of its forms, not just in money, but in love, in connection, in humans, in individuals, in nature, in animals, in the air you breathe, like the true definition of abundance, which is all around you in the universe. The Empress and the 9 of Cups together give huge vibes of gratitude, contentment, feeling so abundant and whole and complete and fulfilled. This era you're stepping into, I don't know what you're doing in your career, but it's extremely fulfilling and it puts you around people you love, like people you would want to hang out with anyway, even if it had nothing to do with work. So imagine like coworkers who you're like, if we both quit this job tomorrow, I would still want to be friends with you. Clients, customers who you're like, I could see myself being friends with you. Like people you truly look forward to seeing, that make you look forward to going to work, that make it all meaningful and worthwhile. I definitely feel like many of you could be falling in love with this card, with the Empress. Page of Wands too can be like a new exciting person coming in. I will let you determine if that's like a new romantic interest or a new friend, or if that's you falling in love with yourself, or all of the above. But I can absolutely say that love is in the air and it's very exciting. And you're planting seeds to experience more of that love from 2027 onwards. I think you're just really shifting to a positive mindset, which is very badass of you, because I know you've been through it. At least it looks like it. And so to go through all of that and still choose love and still choose positivity and still choose to shine unapologetically, by the way. We're not going to apologize for shining. That's just very badass of you. And I just really want you to know that you're protected. So let's look at the bottom of the deck. This is going to represent messages or advice from 2027 you. And we have the Ace of Cups. And I heard, please just do what makes you happy. You have spent so long making others happy, and you will continue to make others happy, but not at the expense of your own happiness. A person or people who required you to extinguish your own light and put your own needs in the back seat in order to make them happy will be distancing themselves or will be leaving your life. That's not, I'm hearing that's not fair. That's not real connection. That's not real love. I'm seeing this person, this is like another person who had a hole in the bottom of their cup. And rather than saying to themselves, oh shit, there's a hole in my cup, let me work on fixing that, they just demanded that everybody else around them pour more and more and more and more, so that the cup was always full, which required like constant, I don't know, like validation, coddling, serving this person. But you're no longer going to be roped into that kind of thing, like the obligation to pour and pour and pour and pour into someone else. That's not fair. That's not real connection. That's not real love. I'm like getting upset. Like I'm getting sad and kind of angry for you. Keep that for yourself. Pour into your own cup. And pour into others' cup, because you know they will pour back into you. That is real connection. You deserve to be happy. Honestly, you deserve rest. You deserve a break too. You've been going nonstop. Even when you're not like physically active, you've been going nonstop mentally and emotionally, and that takes a toll too. Maybe before the end of this year, in any way you can, in any way that feels right to you, you could do a little something to pamper yourself. Doesn't have to be expensive, but you just deserve to feel loved and nurtured by yourself and by others, of course. So yeah, I think future you is just saying like, please just do what makes you happy. That's all we got. That's all we got. That's all that matters. This life is short. Oh, that's making me emotional at the end of your reading. But I think that's everything I have for you. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whenever you're watching, and of course, a wonderful rest of the year. And I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram, my memberships, where you can watch the extendeds that we do every month. There's also a level of membership with full-length pick a card readings. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.